Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee. Da-dee, a fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Ya-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go! Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Greetings, friends, and welcome back to Gothic Horror Gaming. I'm your host, the Gloom Master, Tom Zadoyko, and we will be experiencing a live play tabletop role-playing game of the Horror Persuasion here in just a few moments. But before I do, I want to thank our sponsors. We're going to start off with renadventures.com. Renadventures.com. Tor and do all sorts of wonderful things all around the globe with your favorite Ren Fair performers. Currently, they have just finished scouting out Egypt for an Egypt tour. They're also planning a Sicily tour uh, after the new year. But as far as gaming goes, we also do that. So renadventures.com is doing Dungeons and Dragons in New Orleans. We'll play some 5e, you'll tour around, see some of the great sites in New Orleans, and then it culminates in a trip to the Louisiana Renaissance Fair, which is just about 45 to an hour north of New Orleans itself, where many of the game masters are also performing. So you'll get to see a bunch of us there. Also like to thank 3DTU. 3dtu.org is their site. They make all sorts of various gaming supplements, towers, dice boxes, dice trays, that sort of thing. Check them out at 3dtu.org. And also, I'd like to thank us. Melissa Lee, Handler Z, who's in the background running comments, she has written a book. We have a Patreon, and we've compiled the stories from that into a book, which I then also narrate. It's available on Amazon as a paperback form or as a Kindle version, and also on Audible. So check that out. A collection of short fiction and dark poetry, mainly horror and science fiction. So check that out over there. A bit about the game tonight. This is a horror-based game. So for anyone who is new to the channel, allow me to elaborate. This will deal with subjects of death, violence, gore, things of common phobia. We're actually also delving into some very uncomfortable things in history here in this next little bit. Let's just say some historic bad guys that were very real are going to possibly show up tonight and in subsequent adventures. So if these sorts of things make you uncomfortable or you do not like them, we completely understand. Our other shows are much more happy-go-lucky than this one is. So feel free to check out the other shows on the Nat 21 Adventures channel, both on Twitch and on YouTube for those sorts of things. But if you like horror and perhaps things that make you uncomfortable, they will be here tonight. A note about our game system. Our game system is set in the Chill universe. Chill was a game by Mayfair and has gone through several iterations since. So in the Chill universe, the world is as we know it, but behind things in the shadows, the supernatural, or as they call it, the unknown, exists. The unknown is a generally evil, generally very powerful. And there is an organization called SAVE, the Society of the Silver Way, that has formed to combat the unknown and keep the general public shielded from it and its horrors. Started in the late 1700s, the organization, and exists into the modern day. But that is not the rule system we are using. The rule system we are using is from a game called Over the Edge. Over the Edge has a very, very simple game system. Your character will have 3 traits, a primary trait and 2 side traits. Anything you attempt to do, you see if it falls under one of your traits. If it falls under your primary trait, you get to roll 4d6 and attempt to hit a target number. If you want to do something that falls under your side trait, you roll 3d6 and attempt to hit a target number. If, however, none of your traits apply, 2d6 is what you get to roll. And we'll give you an example. Let us say we have a police officer. That is their primary trait. And as their side traits, they are a book collector and also a amateur photographer. So if our police officer is having their primary trait be police officer, and they attempt to shoot a gun, they will roll 4d6 and attempt to succeed with that. If, however, they are attempting to sift through a card catalog and find something in an old library, well, being a book collector, they would know something of that, so they get to roll 3d6. But if that same character is now trying to rewire a circuit board, they have no background in that. They would roll 2d6. You in Twitchland can help by declaring your helps with Sir David Percival over there in the comments section. Thank you, Sir David, for doing this once again. You can spend your Twitch points with him and declare a help and who you want to help, which of our players you would like to help, or if you would like to help me. What the help does, we keep a tally of them, and the players and myself can spend those helps in order to give themselves a bonus die. Now, they can still only take the value of their of what they would normally be allowed. Let me give you an example. So our police officer really needs to make this shot, to hit something. It's very vital. So they choose to expend a help that they've accumulated. So instead of rolling 4d6, they will roll 5d6. But they do not get to add them all together. Because it was their primary trait, they will still only take the 4 highest of those 5 dice. So it does help boost their score, but not insanely so. That is essentially how the game works. Combat is resolved by rolling how many dice you have to attack versus how many dice they have to defend, seeing what the difference is, and that dictates the damage. There we have it. That is the game. Now, our setting. The year is 1937. We are in the Mediterranean. For those of you who are astute with history, both Mussolini and Hitler have come to power, but the World War is still a couple of years off. There's an uneasy rumbling across Europe and the Mediterranean at this point, but no open hostilities have yet begun. However, the Spanish Civil War has certainly occurred, where many of the things that will happen in the Second World War have been tested out on a smaller scale. Our players are experienced save operatives working for an elusive man named Gordon Pym, who heads up save. Some of our players, most recently, were in the Philippines, dealing with a lost artifact that Pym asked them to recover. They succeeded, and the artifact was a key. He used it to lock a box and then destroyed the key, stating that it was very vital that this box never be opened. Also, they encountered cultists who were pursuing them, who at one point uttered the name Nyarlathotep, which some of our players recognized. And so with that, it is 6 months later from our last adventure, and we find ourselves in the Mediterranean. More importantly, we find ourselves in the south of France, in Toulon, and inside a sanitarium. Welcome, Dr. Sabine.
Bonjour.
And how are you feeling today?
I find myself being asked that question quite often, but I am doing quite well, yes.
Yes. We will not have any more relapses, will we? Says the doctor.
No, of course not. I shall not. I shall not relapse again. It is vitally important that I don't.
I'm glad you understand the severity of your situation. However, I do have a telegram has arrived for you.
Mais oui. Merci, of course.
Indeed, and it urges your immediate excusal from our fine facility here.
Ah, does it say who's the sender of the telegrams?
Mr. Pym.
But of course.
Indeed.
Is there an address?
No.
Okay. Very good.
He hands you the telegram. I realize we have not described you for everybody who might be a new listener, a new viewer. Can you please describe yourself, Dr. Sabine?
Bonjour, I am Dr. Sabine Clément. I am a doctor and I have been working with SAVE since I was a child. I I'm quite a good doctor. I was put through medical school by SAVE itself with the understanding that I would become an agent for them. And so here we are. And I was in the Philippines last year, helping SAVE recover the atom.
Very well. Before you read that, let us instead go to Tunis in Tunisia, an excavation site in the dry, dusty climes along the Mediterranean coast is one Dr. Montana Smith.
So everyone is here just working diligently for their semester abroad as my largely unskilled and cheap labor as we're working on this Carthaginian dig.
Please describe yourself for everyone, Mr. Smith. Dr.
Oh,
Smith, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm a professor of classics and archaeology, also anthropology, at the University of Pennsylvania, and I'd like to go out on a little bit of an adventure every so often. Fought, of course, in the Great War a couple of years back, as did most of my friends and associates. But working with these kids, that's what it's all about, you know, and finding what brought us here.
Well, what brings you here right now is a courier comes running in from town out to your dig site. Out of breath, young lad. He's probably maybe 15 if he's lucky. Very thin. He's panting, and he speaks to you in French first. Do you understand French?
In per. Picked
You
up a
get
little bit
from
from
him,
Dr. Sabine.
yes, you get from him essentially that he's got a telegram for you.
S'il vous plaît.
One hand comes out holding it, and the other hand comes out empty.
Of course. Take out some cash, hand it to him.
He runs away with it, barely even looking as he hands the telegram to you and takes off.
Yeah.
The telegram is from one Gordon Pym. No return address.
All
But it's
right.
addressed to you, and it specifically says Carthage dig site for where to locate.
This is just getting eerie every time he finds me. Finds me at a football stadium, finds me on a dig site. Next, he's going to find me in the men's room. I swear to God. All right. What's the telegram say?
You will find out in just a moment, because meanwhile, there is a young man, a Mr. Oliver Ox Hayes. Oliver, where are you?
I think I'm in Austria somewhere right now.
Very well. You are in Austria. It must be a terrible disappointment having missed out the Olympic Games as you did.
Yeah. So close.
Indeed. You were
Fine.
You're a strapping young man, aren't you? Why don't you describe yourself for everyone?
Yes, he probably about 6'2", probably coming in at about 265 to 270. He's a big old boy. He's a whole lot of farm boy meat.
A young man too.
Yes, early 20s. Early to mid 20s maybe.
Indeed. You are in let us say Innsbruck.
Okay.
Which is down on the border. It's in that little bit of Austria that pokes toward Switzerland, with lovely little Liechtenstein in between the two. you walk into a beer house in Innsbruck, and you've been staying in this at the inn attached to it, and the bartender eventually comes over, and he looks at you briefly and then says, "American?"
Yeah.
He looks at an envelope in his hand. Hayes?
Yep.
Oliver?
Yep.
Das ist yours. He hands you a
Thanks.
telegram. On the outside, it says it's from a Gordon Pym, whom you have met before. It has no return address, but it's labeled Oliver Hayes, Innsbruck, Austria. And it has your hotel name on it. So somehow he knew you were here. Very well.
All right.
Well, before you open it,
Take a swig of my beer. Yep.
in other part of the world, there is a one Lucas Evans suffering the heat in the lovely city of Tangier. Lucas, tell us about yourself.
I am I'm mid-40s. I am a little hangdog, world weary. I'm currently well past buzzed, bordering on inebriated. Having explained to the staff the kind of clientele we'll be having here.
And what is your establishment, and who are that clientele?
Well, it's a brand new place. It's called Dean's Bar here in Tangier, and we get a little bit of everybody in. It's selective. The well established, the upper crust, and then some folks who, well, a little bit crusty around the edges.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of crusty around the edges, a very shadowy looking figure comes in the middle of the afternoon one day. His country of origin is hard to discern. He's taking great pains to make it difficult to identify himself. A low hat over his eyes, coat that is very unnecessary in this heat, but using it to try to hide his identity as much as he possibly can. And he says, in English, "Are you Evans?"
Sure am.
"I have a message for you." He reaches into his coat and pulls out a telegram.
I take it.
He stands there expectantly for a moment.
I didn't notice you come in, so if you're interested in more work of the like, talk to Reginald. He's the very large Moroccan gentleman you happen to sneak by. Like your style. I tip him the appropriate amount for a 1937.
Very well. The man gives a nod and says, "You will see me again," and he leaves. It is a telegram from one Gordon Pym addressed to you, Lucas Evans, at Dean's Bar, Tangier.
Damn it! Damn it!
Well, you all open your telegram, and I will bring you all back as a result. The telegram is rather to the point, unexpectedly so. It says, the box is gone.
Why wouldn't it be?
They took it. There is another way to open it. Dataless device. Find and secure. Am working on retrieving box.
Merde.
And then at the end, of course, it says, P.S. Proceed with caution. Inside the envelope is a banknote for each one of you, to each of your names, in the sum of almost $100. And also a note that says Dean's Bar, Tangier, Rally.
Damn it!
Alors, Tangier.
By the way, for those of you who are not familiar, at this point, Morocco is a French possession, as is Tangier.
All right.
Alors, where is Speedy when you meet him?
Reggie, we're gonna need the back room. No, that's a closet. No, I'm gonna need it. I don't know. I'll be back there sobering up.
Very well. After several days and several various modes of transportation, you all find yourselves in Tangier and make your way to Dean's Bar. Lucas, you recognize Dr. Sabine when she enters. A little more haggard than previously. Perhaps a couple lines on her face that were not there before. Understandable given all the things that she's been through. Montana Smith is very almost sunburned. He's obviously been spending a lot of time out of doors working on something in the bright sunshine. And another gentleman who you do not recognize, but is clearly an American farm boy. Go ahead.
Monsieur Evans.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. I should have known that Dean's Bar was going to be your bar.
Oh, it's I'm a silent partner. It's nice though. I mean, it would have been. Wish I could have showed you this place under better circumstances. Doc, good to see you.
Evans, good to see you.
We don't offer educators discount. I'm kidding, of course. We're all friends here. It's all.
That's fine. I'll just take a bottle from back.
Yeah.
Here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Dr. Smith?
Dr. Sabine Clement, how are you?
I am doing surprisingly well.
Excellent. Can I buy you a drink?
Absolutely no.
I know the bartender.
No, thank you. I appreciate you, but no, I'm okay.
And you there, you look corn-fed. How you doing there, High Pockets?
Corn-fed?
Means he's big and beefy.
Mais absolument, oui.
Doing all right. Can I get a beer? Something.
We'll take care of you. We get quite a few Americans in here. Not as many. Yeah.
And what is your name, sir?
Most folks call me Ox.
Ox?
Ox.
A Montana.
Dr. Sabine.
Lucas Evans.
Yes. Pleasure.
Well,
Pleasure.
if Pim's looking for the box, that's the worst news that I've had some time. And Daedalus, what do we know? Is that ringing any bells?
Daedalus. Yeah, he was a figure of Greek myth.
Indeed.
Created the labyrinth for the Minotaur to go into. His son Icarus
All
flew
right,
too
yeah.
close to the sun on wings of wax. Created lots of mechanical toys. His only real counterpart would have been uh, the gentleman in Sicily whose name is escaping me during the.
Da Vinci?
No. Back in Rome, Da Vinci had nothing on him.
During the Greek time?
Archimedes.
Archimedes, thank you.
Archimedes.
Archimedes would have been his own real counterpart.
From the-
Archimedes also has the benefit of having 100% been factually verified by.
So he's on the
history.
level. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Daedalus. Again, myth.
Where did you say that Archimedes was? In Sicily?
Archimedes was in Sicily, probably about 1,000 or so years after when Daedalus was supposed to have existed. Daedalus worked for the Minoans.
You think that is where we are supposed to go?
Crete? Maybe, I don't know. I guess Pim's going to come in here and talk to us. Isn't
Well,
that usually how this goes?
Usually, Pim sends his personal. Pim doesn't usually send telegrams.
No, he does not. I would be quite surprised if he shows up today.
Montana Smith,
Yes,
give me your archaeology roll.
very good.
We?
Yeah, none of that, friends, was. Oh, this is terrible. I rolled a 7.
7.
All of that was just what I know.
Recalling what you know about Daedalus, he bopped all over the Mediterranean. Athens claims him at one point, having been from there. He's on Crete at one point. He is. There are 2 places he is reputed to have died. And one is a small unknown island in the Nile, and the other is in Sicily, which is also where Archimedes is from.
And where he died.
Yeah, where also Archimedes died.
Yeah. So I'll relay all that to all of you guys.
Well, I do-
Benefit is, for the sake of argument, if it is Sicily, hey, number 1, great pizza. Number 2, potentially find the tomb of Archimedes while we're at it. Oh, maybe in Syracuse, who knows?
What do you know of the politics at the moment?
Oh, they're not great.
No.
Not great.
What you want to know the politics of Sicily?
No, I'm asking Dr. Montana if he knows about politics in Sicily.
They're not the best right now.
No.
I am going to point out. You guys would all know this. This is
Yeah.
all current events for you. The Italians have rallied in the 1920s under Benito Mussolini. So they control Sicily. Recently, just in the 1920s, there was a huge roundup and imprisonment of all the mafia in Sicily. The fascists actually cracked down on the mafia in Sicily and declared success. Sicily is actually fairly stable right now.
Well,
but under fascist control.
Yeah.
So where do you think we should go? To find this box?
Well, maybe Sicily, maybe Crete with the labyrinth. I don't know. But again, the labyrinth is myth, and we can't always bet on myth.
Not always. Could I possibly use my save knowledge to?
Yes, you may. Go ahead.
Yes. Give me one moment. 13.
13. You've heard of the Daedalus device. It is a rumored object that can be used to open any lock. It is, as far as you were aware, mythological.
You guys, I just remembered something.
You guys.
There is a device that could potentially open any lock, and it is called the Daedalus device.
Which is basically what the telegram said.
Yes, correct. So, it is supposed to be mythological, but I don't know where it is.
Well, how do we get there?
So is Pandora's box, but yeah, but then again.
Well,
I'm assuming we can either charter a plane, get on a plane, or charter a boat out of here.
probably.
You each have the equivalent of about $2,000 from Pym still.
Correct. Shall we then? Monsieur Ox, you have not said much. What do you think?
You see, I ain't got none of the big brains y'all got. So you're saying a lot of words that I don't understand, but Pim sent me here. So where y'all are going, I'm a following.
How do you know Pim?
Had some experiences in the past.
As we have all.
Yes.
Sounds about right.
Done
All
a
right.
job for him here and there.
Ah, oui. Bien sûr. So, on to Sicily then, I guess.
Yeah.
So the major point of entry into Sicily is the city of Palermo, which there are air flights from here to Palermo.
Too bad we do not have a slingshot.
Yeah.
A catapult, you mean?
Oh, a catapult. Oh, sorry, my English is not so good. Okay, let's get on a plane then. Shall we?
We shall.
It doesn't take much to arrange the flights. You still have plenty of cash left over from arranging air travel to Palermo. It's really only about 600 miles tops from where you are now. So the next morning, you manage to get on a flight that flies along the North African coast. You pass through the Straits of Gibraltar. You pass over Algiers. You pass over Tunisia, where Montana Smith had just been.
Hey, I was just there.
Yeah. And end up in Palermo, the city of Palermo. The city of Palermo is the capital of the Sicilian district at this time. And it looks a little something like this.
How quaint.
While we're flying, let's think about getting our story straight in terms of why we're there. What's our cover, eh? What do we think?
Obviously, we are accompanying Mr. Dr. Smith on an archaeological expedition. Yes?
It sounds good to me. We are here to conduct research for my book.
Oh, you're writing a book, Monsieur Smith.
I am now.
I see.
Yes. I've written a couple of textbooks that no
Well,
one
if
has
there's
ever
one
read.
thing I know about fascists, it's they love people learning things.
Oh,
So I'm sure this will go over great.
well,
If we wanted to have another, like I'm just brainstorming here, just trying to think of. I think it's a. Listen, anywhere else that would probably get us in. I'm just not convinced that under this certain circumstances.
All right.
Well, then
What
what
you
is your
got, Slick?
idea?
I don't know. I just don't. I know it's not the greatest idea to poo-poo something without coming up with a backup, but I'm just.
Could we be tourists?
Sicily is a tourist destination at this point in history.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Works for me.
Pourquoi pas?
We're here for the food.
Oui. Italian food.
You
look
land
so
in
sad
Palermo.
about that, Sabine.
And as you come off the plane, there are various Italian officials about in uniforms, but they look at your documentation just briefly. The world is still at peace in 1937, so they pretty much give it a glance, see that you're American, French. All right. They ask you the nature of your visit. You say tourism. It is currently April of in the spring, so it's the weather in Sicily at this time of year is beautiful. The high of 75, a low of 61. Very little rain. The only problem might be that it's very dry. But as far as sightseeing goes, it is perfect. It hardly rains in April. It's one of the driest months. Although it does rain in the interior of the island as the wind sweeps up the elevations. So the rivers are still flowing. It is beautiful. The Mediterranean glitters like 1,000 diamonds across the bay. And you find yourselves safely on the ground in Palermo. What would you like to do?
Well, I think we should probably find a nice hotel somewhere.
Sounds great to me.
There's the Olive Branch is very close.
Perfect.
Also has the benefit of meaning peaceful, and hopefully this excursion won't involve horrible necrotic zombies.
Hopefully not. But I will not hold my breath.
Yeah.
Securing a room is easy. Yes, generic Italian themed hotel is available with room. And a bar.
I'll be in the bar.
Where would you like to go from here? You are easily your traveling gear is easily stashed away. What would you like to do?
I'd like to hit up a local library for the, a university library myself.
There is a university in Palermo. It's very small, but you easily discover it.
Yeah.
It is no secret.
Yep, and I'm just going to go and see what they have for their archaeology and also mythological sections.
Very well. Give me an archaeology roll, if you would, please.
Very good.
As you sift through the meager materials of the library.
Oh, fantastic. Much better. 18.
Ooh.
18. As you're going through their materials, you see that it is very scant. It is very threadbare. You do manage to gather that there are many myths about Daedalus. However, one of the main ones, specifically to Sicily, is that after he escaped from Crete, he and his son Icarus flew here, although Icarus flew too close to the sun and died. As his wax wings melted, and he plummeted to Earth. Daedalus, however, did manage to get to a town called Camicus in Sicily. The kingdom of Cocculus was the king. Reading through your information, the king of Crete was after King Minos, was after Daedalus for escaping, and tracked him down to Sicily, to Camicus, which is the town. Cocalus, Cocalus, was a king. Did not want to hand over Daedalus, and so he and his daughters boiled King Minos alive with boiling hot water. Basically said, hey, you should take a bath before you capture him. And then they boiled him alive by piping boiling water into his tub. Daedalus stayed in Sicily for a while after that, built many major works to him, attributed to him for the king. And then apparently Daedalus lived to be a ripe old age. Some myths say that he went to Egypt and died. Some say he died here. The myths that say that he died here say that he was bitten by an asp while out walking as an old man and died and was buried in Camicus. This is the information you glean from the library.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. I take notes. Is there a actual archaeology department at the university here, or?
No, not per se. But
Okay.
as you ask around, they do tell you that the
History department?
no, there is actually the oldest university on Sicily that was founded in the 1400s is on the other side of the island, a mere 80 miles away in Catania, the University of Catania, one of the oldest universities in Europe.
All right. That's where I want to go, and I will tell my friends that when I see them later.
Is there anything anybody else would like to do while Montana is doing that?
Is there
No, go ahead.
is there an hospital in Palermo?
Yes, there is. There is a hospital in Palermo.
Okay. I think I should like to go to the hospital.
You have arrived at the hospital. It is a small affair, but seems to be decently staffed.
Delightful. I ask about their facilities. Just what kind of facilities do they have available to them? I speak a little bit of Italian because, being from Europe, we generally speak each other's languages for the most part. So I'd like to just know what kind of, do they have like an operating theater? Do they have,
They do.
They do? Excellent. I'm logging this away on the back of my mind, I think. Do they have a pharmacy?
Yes, they do.
I would like to restock, I think, a little bit, if it's possible.
For your doctor's kit.
For my doctor's kit.
As you're going through, you see there's a shelf full of amphetamines.
Okay.
Give me a roll.
How many dice?
I will allow you 3.
12.
You taste it in the back of behind your teeth a little bit, but then you shake it off and walk past.
Okay. I would like to get the usual things. At this point, some antimicrobials. I'd like to get some gauze, obviously. I still have some of the other medicines from earlier in my bag, but just kind of restocking from the because I have not practiced medicine since the last adventure. I'm just kind of restocking what I used at that point.
That is not difficult to do, and you have succeeded. Lucas, what were you doing?
I'm going to the hotel bar and looking around for anybody who is maybe I've any familiar faces, anybody that I would know. Just
Indeed.
this is
Well,
it being like part of a if it's a major port, chances are I might know someone who at least knows somebody.
you do recognize that Ox is right there. I mean, he is also in the bar with you. He's mainly just sitting there drinking a Sicilian beer.
Right, but what I'm looking for is I want to
Yes.
find news of the if any without straight up coming to say it, like any cultists.
All right. Give me your roll. Ox, you are nearby, and so you hear Lucas making subtle inquiries about the occult to various people. So go ahead and roll, Lucas.
15.
No one seems to have seen anything untoward along a occult front around here. Um, the locals are very superstitious. They believe in the evil eye. They believe in curses, that sort of thing. But beyond that, nothing
Okay.
out of the ordinary has
Then
registered.
the way I'm asking this, the way I'm asking you, like, where could I find items of protection? That's it. I'm like, has anybody been asking about items of protection or looking for anything like that?
They do mention that if you really want, you should go to Father Angelo Vitali at St. Mary's. He's been known to deal in religious artifacts that offer protection from the evil eye, if that's a thing you are interested in.
Thank you. How's that good Italian beer hitting you, Ox?
Doing fine, doing fine. What do you mean, like protection stuff? Like guns?
No, that I'm not gonna ask about. That I can don't worry about that yet. I'm just
All right.
just seeing what I'm asking about what people have been asking about.
Oh, this daddy list guy.
Nope.
All right.
Just, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Ox, give me a wrestler roll.
15.
You're telling me Ox didn't do rhythmic dancing at the Olympics?
I know, right? Hard to believe. Ox, there are two guys in the corner that are sitting there drinking wine and talking to themselves. but they keep glancing up at you. And what strikes you is that these guys are brawlers.
Okay.
They are. What catches your attention is these guys are, for lack of a better term, thugs.
All right. Big guys look like they know how to handle themselves.
Right, and they keep looking over at your table. Well, not at the table. You don't have a table. At the bar where you and Lucas are now. And they keep talking to each other in Italian. You observe this mainly because you caught how these guys were moving. That they know how to handle themselves. And they seem to have taken an interest in you.
Looks like we garnered ourselves some friends over there. Don't turn around. That's how fights start.
Let's
But they keep looking over here. But I don't speak no Italian.
Me either. Good eye. Well, we're do we have any place to be right now?
The docs are off doing doc things.
Yeah.
Actually, it doesn't take long before Dr. Sabine and Montana Smith do come back, having completed their tasks. And those two gentlemen in the corner note their arrival and that they come and join you. They talk amongst themselves for a moment, and one guy, one of the two, gets up, goes through, and walks through the kitchen.
Oh boy. Yep.
And when you said they join us, I'm assuming you mean the docs.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, not the two guys. Okay, yeah, just want to make sure.
Well, do we know where we'd be going if we had to leave in a hurry there? Gang?
Back through the door. I'm going to put all of my attention. I'm just flat out at this point putting all of my attention on the one guy left. I am being obvious.
Oh.
You're just staring at him?
Not staring at him, but I'm not trying to hide the fact that he has caught my attention.
Very well.
I let the other the docs know, like, hey, so do we have any ideas of where we might want to go?
Catania.
That sounds beautiful.
80 miles away. Lovely town.
Have a fully stocked medical bag.
Oh, good.
The moment she holds up that bag, the guy's head snaps up and looks at the bag. He looks at you, Ox, and he grins.
That feels not good.
I'm just going to give him a wink.
He gives a slight nod. He gets up. He's a big guy. He's probably not quite as tall as you, but he's probably 6 foot at least.
Okay.
And he's very broad-shouldered. He with a shaved head, well, a bald head. Who knows if it's shaved or not? And he gives a little nod, reaches down, puts on a little cap. The cap looks something like what's on these gentlemen.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Okay.
You recognize these gentlemen. These are members of Benito Mussolini's fascist party.
We were gone for like half an hour.
He nods, gets up, and walks out the front door.
The front door. Well, they kind of noticed us while we was just talking. One of them left through the back the minute you two got here,
Hmm.
and they took a mite interest in your little medicine bag.
Hmm.
Well, he did, I should say.
So we are surrounded then?
I wouldn't say surrounded, but who knows where the guy who went out the kitchen went? Could be getting more. Could be telling about us. I don't know. Do you want me to go handle it?
I call the I call the bartender over, and I'm going to try to get a read on him to see if more along the lines of like if he's if this is a cop bar essentially.
All right, go ahead, give me a roll for your special skill.
That's another 15, my friends.
Your read on him is that he doesn't want trouble in his establishment, and he's kind of neutral. He's not in favor of the black shirts, Mussolini's thugs,
Mhm.
but he is also not willing to stand against them.
Say, friend, if someone were trying to make a casual exit, where would be a good place to do that?
A casual exit from. My apologies. I'm not going to do an Italian accent because it will be cartoonish, and I don't want to be offensive. So, I don't. I mean, the front door. We're
Other
a
than-
busy establishment. Are you worried about? And he jerks his head out the door.
Slightly.
You are fine here until you go to leave, probably. They won't disrupt a business, but the streets are another matter.
Hmm.
What they have a lot more than hangs out with them.
There's an entire party office just up the street.
Yeah.
Very silly.
All right. In that case, I'm going to go to my room and get my bag.
Montana excuses himself, goes upstairs, and gets his bag.
Well,
We'll finish that beer and have another one.
What is it, Doc?
well, we are supposed to leave. We're supposed to go to this place, and how are we supposed to leave? Are we just stuck here forever?
Not
I'll go
forever.
first.
Till we get ourselves a plan.
First it was Samoans, now it is Italians.
Yeah, Ox, that strikes you as weird that she said that.
Yeah, Samoans.
Very big ones.
Wrestled a Samoan once. Big guy.
Yes, quite big. How did he die again? Oh, right. He poison. Would you think that would have poison on them?
You wrestle. You're talking about a poison. I did not wrestle, but you're talking about a poison Samoan.
Well, I was not there when he took the pill. It was a capsule in his mouth. I was not there. I do not know. I just diagnosed him as having been poisoned.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
I
ain't
go and
seen no Samoans, but it appears we got an Italian problem now. Nothing personal. If the bartender heard me say that.
He looks up and says, Mussolini.
Right. So, Gloom Master.
Yeah.
When I went to go get my bag and stuff,
Mhm.
I decided to also go see if there was a rooftop exit
Ooh.
of the hotel. Is there? Was there?
You can get on the roof.
Great. And is it easy enough to either go down like on a fire escape or jump to the next building?
Oh, you're cute that you think fire escapes exist here. It's 1937 in Sicily, and you
Yeah.
think there are fire escapes.
They don't believe
That
in
is
codes.
that is delightful. I
Can
will
can you
show
jump
you
to the next
again
building?
what Palermo looks like.
Oh yeah, we could. That
could
looks
jump
like
to
we
that.
could something we could.
We can go hopscotching.
Yeah.
Are you insane? I do not want to be treating any dislocated knees or broken ankles.
Oh, come on, Doc, live a little. Do you want to do that or have broken noses from a fist fight with some black shirts?
Alors.
Hey Ox, how are you? How are you with heights?
Done some carpentry work before, so I've been up on ladders.
Let's take a look skyward, friends. Let's now let's not get too close to the sun. And I pay
Look who was paying attention.
bartender, and I thank him, and let's go.
Very well. You make your way to the roof.
All right.
The view is stunning. I will leave it that.
It absolutely is. The moon is a half moon over top of the Mediterranean, rising, glittering across. Palermo basically faces to the east along the curve of the land of Sicily. Allow me to show you essentially where Palermo is in
Oh, nice.
Sicily. So you get a beautiful sunrise. The sun sets behind you, behind the mountains, but the moon rises and just glitters across the Med. It is absolutely gorgeous. You see all of the terracotta roofs in the city, all arrayed out before you. You can smell the smell of freshly caught sardines, not like a stinky fish smell, but a fresh fish smell. The salt air wafting across the bay. Some sandalwood burning somewhere. It is gorgeous. If you were not worried about fascists, this would be lovely.
Do we see the fascists? From
You're up on the roof. If you want to look around, go ahead and give me some observation rolls.
10.
Ten as well.
What do we get?
10.
12.
10.
10,
11.
10, 12, and 11. You don't notice any unusual activity below you.
Is there a car we could steal?
Or the nearest bus station.
You are on a third floor roof.
Sorry.
There are cars down there, not many.
Yeah.
There are most people get around here with donkey carts.
What about a bicycle?
A bicycle?
There are some bicycles around. Again, I will remind you, you are on the roof of a 3-story building.
Yeah, we're looking down. What's the closest building to us that we could get on without
And do we know what that building is?
There is basically a rectangular building with a terracotta roof across an alleyway from you. It is probably about a 10-foot jump across.
10 feet? 10 feet? I do not know what that is. That's like 3 meters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ish.
Uh,
Martins, I do not understand the way that your mind works. I do not know. I do not think I can make that jump.
I was going to say, just out of curiosity, how in shape does everybody else look?
I will let them tell you.
I'm fairly well. I like to keep my figure nice and straight.
You are a little worn, actually, Dr. Sabine, right now.
Yes, I understand.
Oh, I'm sure they have some kind of exercise program.
Very calisthenics.
Yes, getting the heart rate up to healthy, and then also relax.
Yes.
I've been living on a diet of alcohol and various meat products for some time, and so has my character. So it shouldn't be. Thank you.
I feel fairly confident that if it comes to jumping, I am the only one that is definitely going to make it across. And even then, that terracotta roof like that.
Oh, you will slide.
Yeah. So I'm thinking our only way out is to go out front. And if that's the case, just let me go first.
All right.
Okay, I trust you. Nobody.
For those of you on YouTube who do not see the comment, Sir David Percival has said, Ox can throw the others across.
Listen, nobody throws a dock.
No one tosses a dock.
Tosses a dock. That's it. Okay. So I just start going back down. I do not want to be up on this roof.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
You're
Welcome
back
to
down
Nat
in the
21
main part of
Adventures,
the,
where
hotel.
safety first.
Safety first, people.
I think we should just go out the front door. Obviously, wait, what time is it? Is it like night
It's
time?
night.
It's 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, maybe we should just go to bed. And start in the morning?
So you want to potentially run from bad guys under the cover of daylight.
Okay.
You want to potentially fight a bunch of them under the cover of night?
I'm just saying that I don't want to fight anybody.
And if they're associated with if they're associated with I'm okay with leaving. If they're associated with if he left, he might be going to get others to just arrest people for no reason. Let's go.
Well, here's the question at hand. I mean, I don't have the big brains you guys do, but if we leave now, leave to where?
Catania.
So at 10 o'clock at night, we're going to leave for Catania.
Exactly. And where is Catania?
Catania is 80 miles away on the far
eastern side.
Eastern coast. Let me show you where it is. There it is.
Catania.
You see where Palermo is. You see where Catania is. Catania is basically at the base of Mount Etna.
Ah, maybe.
And
that raised area is the active volcano that is Mount Etna.
And I'm just going to throw this out there. There might be some people a little bit in the country who might be a little bit more sympathetic to just, tourists and backpackers as opposed to the big city. I don't know.
I do not want to travel at nighttime.
Well, in the daytime, we might be able to get a bus or something.
Exactly.
And if we want to be, then we can probably get a boat, get a fisherman to take us around.
Great idea.
I'm just saying.
Well, in either way, though, I'm just worried about us being arrested in the middle of the night. That happens here.
For what?
They'll find a reason.
Well, let's get back inside in the meantime.
Yep.
You're back inside. You're gathered in one of your rooms. Nothing has happened.
The bartender gave no indication that
He
They
said they
are-
wouldn't disrupt business. Sorry, man.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, pardon me, though. I was rude.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
It really is. It really is.
Seriously.
Forgive me. That comment made me laugh.
I'm good. I'm good for anything. But
Let us set up a watch, perhaps.
I'm fine with that.
All right. I grab my revolver out of my bag. I'm going to go down to the front desk, put the revolver in back of the belt, under my jacket, go down to the front desk so I can ask the clerk if there is a morning bus to Catania.
He speaks a little bit of English. Yes, kapow. That happens. No, it doesn't.
Lots of better wizards than you have shot off a buttock.
He says, yes, there is one that leaves at about 9 in the morning.
Great.
And it will take pretty much all day to go over the mountains. You're in luck. The weather is good. Not a lot of rain. Otherwise, it could take 2 days. You should get there by nightfall to Catania. I keep saying Catania. It's Catania. Catania.
And this is also look out for 2025 when Net 21 Adventures takes you on a bus all the way around the beautiful island of Sicily. That's right.
Don't put it past Paolo.
Ren Adventures actually already does that.
They already have a Sicily tour.
Yeah.
And they will be doing that in January this year.
Oh.
Très bien. How quickly would it be to go by sea?
It would take roughly the same amount of time.
Where is Speedy when we need him?
Oh, Speedy could have flown you there in a matter of 2 or 3 hours.
I'm not there. I was saying, I would find out how long it would take a boat.
Thanks very much. Go up to the room. Tell them if we take the boat, there's a far lower risk of anybody being able to be right on our tail.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Also, we get to see the lovely seashore, coastline.
Except maybe people in a faster boat.
Well, yeah, there's always somebody in a faster boat. But...
Don't give them ideas.
I'm going to start sleeping now.
Dr. Speedy says, I'm going to start sleeping now, and immediately passes out. Just done.
She really meant that. Good for her.
I only snore a little bit.
She's talking in her sleep. Did you hear that?
Yeah. Let's snore.
She's also drinking while she sleeps. Oh, if only she just snorted while she slept. Oh, look at her. She's chasing rabbits.
Get him, girl.
We take watches through the night. Does anything happen?
Overnight, no. You are unmolested in your hotel room.
All right.
Very nice. So, shall we go to the dock?
You're the doc.
You're the doc.
Oh, look at you learning American finger guns. All right.
They do these jokes a lot, Ox. They call it's a lot of doc jokes.
Oh, all right.
Doc and Ock. Oh my. Oh God.
Doc Ox.
That's an intellectual property we have to deal with now.
Okay, so
Great, now Disney's going to sue.
I think we should go. Let us go. I want to go.
Yeah,
Right, you go down to the harbor?
Yes.
Everybody give me an observation roll.
8.
14.
13.
Booyah, 4.
Nice.
Lucas, Dr. Sabine, you notice there's a gentleman. He's just strolling along, kind of whistling to himself, but he seems to be walking the same direction you are. And Lucas, you recognize him as the guy that ducked out the back last night. He's not doing anything. He's just whistling and kind of following on the other side of the street as you walk down to the harbor.
Psst. Is that person following us?
Yep. He was the one at the bar the other night.
Delightful. Okay.
He puts his fingers in his mouth and like whistles really loudly once or twice, and then just goes back to whistling a meaningless tune.
So he's calling somebody.
As he's following you.
Okay.
He's actually paralleling you along the street.
How far away is he?
He's only on the other side of the street. It's less than 20 feet away.
Okay.
He keeps looking over, too, and making no attempt to hide that he's looking over.
I start whistling too.
Lucas.
If he's signaling people through sound, let's confuse it. Like I'm yeah.
He smiles when you start whistling, and he starts whistling Yankee Doodle Dandy.
I'm just gonna flat out turn, look at him, and go. Now that one, I know that one.
He stops. He actually stops and goes, "Oh, you know that? You know that one?" And he starts whistling a very rough version of the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, no, that one. I'm gonna whistle it for him. Then that one goes more like this. I'm gonna if you all are continuing to walk, I am too.
I am walking towards the harbor.
Yeah.
Then he'll start walking with you once you keep walking, and he's whistling tunes. Then he goes, "How about this one?" And he starts whistling the Marseillaise.
I'm gonna look at these three and be like, nah.
I look at him.
French national anthem.
I just ignore him. And I make a note that he is whistling it incorrectly.
You are judging his whistling.
Absolument. It is obviously this person knows who we are. I think we should vacate the conversation.
Vini Pagliacci. Oh.
He starts whistling along too. You're down at the harbor, and there are some docks. And as you come around the corner of a warehouse, there's a row of there's a wooden dock that projects out that has rows of fishing boats all along it. And as you step out that direction, 3 large men step out in your path, smiling, and they look at you. Buongiorno.
Ciao.
Howdy.
Can we help you, gentlemen?
One of them, who is the big guy from last night, the one who went out the front door, steps forward and says, "You are new in town."
Yes, we are. Very astute of you.
"You are very welcome here in Sicily."
Ah, so you must be the welcoming committee.
We are. Obviously you failed to understand, as you are new here. There's a toll in this town.
A toll?
Ah, of course.
Understandably, you're new. You didn't know. So if you would just turn out your pockets, you can be on your way. Oh, and the bag, and he points at Dr. Sabine's bag.
Absolutely not.
Oh, failure to pay the toll is a serious offense. The four men crack knuckles.
How much, if we were to just put a dollar amount on this, guys, would it actually be?
What's in your pockets? You can keep what's in your bags, except for that one.
You're not getting my medical bag. I'm sorry.
She's a doctor.
I'm a
You're gonna
doctor.
take a doctor's stuff.
I need to help people.
We have plenty of our own doctors who need supplies. I'll give you to the count of 3.
I cannot give him my bag.
1.
I cannot.
Well, since you got your own doctor, bam.
Oh, very well. I'm going to let Ox get off the first strike because of he had a great one-liner.
Yeah, I did.
Which one are you punching, Ox?
The big one that was right in front of us.
Very well. Go ahead and roll. I am going to roll one less die because now I'm gonna take a penalty die and have to take the lowest ones because you kind of caught him off guard.
13. Yeah.
You give him a nice right cross that sends his bell ringing. He does not drop, but he certainly staggers back. Now, at this point, I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh boy!
I rolled horribly, as usual.
Oh my God! I got a 20.
I rolled
14.
I rolled a 9. 9.
12. That's 3 dice, right? Or
For you, 4.
oh, then hold on.
For Ox, you're a wrestler. This is what you do.
Then 18.
I thought as much. And what did you get, Lucas? I'm sorry.
14.
And then Dr. Sabine, you got a
9.
9. Okay. So Montana, you are first.
All right.
None of them are armed.
Great. Cool. I pull out my revolver and shoot the closest one in the kneecap.
Well, that escalated quickly. All right.
Revolver.
Straight Indiana Jones then.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a help on this one.
All right.
I rolled a 17.
Montana reaches behind him, pulls out a revolver. It points it at the group that's in front of him and pulls the trigger. A gout of blood comes out of the dead center of the throat of the man to the left of the big man that Oliver Ox just punched. He gurgles briefly and goes down, falls to the ground, dead.
For the record, I was aiming for. I wanted to hit him in the knee.
Not with that roll. You
17 only gets.
He rolled incredibly poorly. You did not tell me you were shooting him in the leg. You said you shoot him.
I thought I said out loud in the leg. Sorry. But
He said in the knee.
Yeah.
In the knee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. In which case, the bullet passes in his inner thigh. Blood gushes out. He falls. The femoral artery is severed.
All right.
So it's murder one way or the other.
It's less gruesome, though, guys. Hey, one of you is probably going to want to put pressure on that.
Ox. Montana Smith just killed a man.
I don't even know how to react to that. So I was just prepared to fight 4 dudes. I wasn't prepared for gunfire, so now I'm just. I'm going to do the only thing that I can do because clearly he's an alcoholic. He's mentally unstable, so I'm looking to the doc to see what she wants me to do.
Fight them.
The guy you punched is right in front of you.
Okay, I'm punching him again.
Punch him again. He's not going to take the penalty this time around. What'd you get, Ox?
13.
13. You land a solid blow, and he falls on his ass. He basically falls and shakes his head. His bell is well and truly rung at this point. Seeing what... no, he is not dead. However, seeing what has happened, the other 2 both stagger backward, and one pulls out a whistle and starts blowing on it loudly from around his neck as they both stumble back and try to get behind some crates, leaving their friend who has been punched on the ground. But the others are blowing a whistle wildly, and people have started and are staring. Lucas Evans, your turn.
Anybody know how to pilot a boat? Let's go.
We got to go. We've got to go.
Let's get out of here.
We got to go.
Yeah.
We have got to go.
I start running to a boat that looks seaworthy.
All right.
With somebody on it, I guess. So we're looking for a fishing boat with, where somebody's, loading crates or something. I'll make a perception check.
Very good. Do it.
And I'm looking for somebody who I might hire. I'm who can move material. That's what I'm keeping my eye open for, using my primary.
Go ahead.
Oh dear. That's just a 12.
You encounter a fisherman who actually has a motor powered boat, which is rare, and he's craning his neck past you where he just heard the gunshot from, and is now hearing the whistling come from, and he's speaking in Italian as you run up. Do you speak Italian?
Lira?
Are you pulling out money?
Yes.
He's looking, and then he sees the money. Give me a roll for. You can use 4 dice.
I'm also going to use a help.
Very well.
That is only a 12.
After a few moments, he gets the gist of what you want, that you want to take him away. He looks at the pile of money. He looks down at the guy blowing the whistle. He shrugs. He takes the money, and he waves you on board.
Let's go.
Dr. Sabine.
Question.
Lucas Evans just jumped on a boat.
How long has it been since Dr. Montana shot the man?
Seconds.
I go to staunch the blood.
Oh, this man is dead.
Is he dead? Like dead? Dead?
Oh, yeah. He rolled terribly in his defense roll.
Oh.
He is dead.
Okay.
You are not saving this guy.
Okay.
He rolled a 5. Montana rolled a 17.
Oof.
And a light revolver has a 3 times modifier.
Right.
So yeah, that man is dead.
So his whole thigh is just bled.
Yes.
Okay.
What would you like to do instead?
I look at the body and I look at Montana and I follow onto the boat.
You jump onto the boat. Very well. Montana, your turn.
Woo! Did not see that happening. Do I see anybody coming after us yet?
It's been 6 seconds.
Okay. I take off after them to get on the boat.
Very well. Ox.
Well, yeah. Run into the boat.
Very well.
Yeah.
You run into the boat as well. The man you punched gets groggily to his feet, looks at you pursuing, looks at his dead friend, and then runs and hides behind some crates. His friends are also hiding behind crates. All three of them are now blowing whistles, pointing and yelling in Italian in your direction. Lucas Evans.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm on the boat. I'm going to just aim my gun at one of them, but from on the boat.
So you draw a gun on this fisherman's boat and point it back at the black shirts? Is that what I'm getting?
Yes.
Very well. Dr. Sabine. Lucas Evans has now pulled a gun as you jump aboard next to you.
Put your gun away. I talk to the man in Italian. Por favore, andiamo a Catania. See?
Roll me 3d6.
Romance languages, go! Give me one moment. Sorry, I lost my dice. 14.
He looks at you. He looks at Lucas Evans, who has just drawn a gun. Montana Smith, who has a gun in hand, who just jumped aboard his boat, and he dives over the side. He jumps off the boat.
Does anybody know how to drive a boat?
Press the gas.
Montana Smith, it is your turn.
All right. The sharks.
And he's promptly devoured by sharks.
Yeah. Italian
They were
sharks.
just waiting for him.
Yeah. I see him. Is there on this boat, is it just outboard motor that you just kind of pull the
No,
fin
there's a
and
little
go?
cabin.
There's a little cabin. I see him jump off. I run in. I run to the cabin, to the wheel, yell at Haystacks here to undo the rope so we can shove off.
You shove off.
Very well. Ox, you just got to the boat. You watched the man who apparently owns the boat jump over the side. Montana yells at you to untie the lines.
Okay, I'm just going to look for any lines and just untie them if I can.
Roll me 2d6. Let's see what happens.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, this should be fun.
Use a help. Use a help.
Yeah, I'm going to use a help. This seems like a pretty serious. So with the help, that brought me up to 14. No.
Oh, good. You
No,
don't
yeah.
untie anything essential, but you do manage to untie. You piece together fairly well. Like, oh well, when I was working the block and tackle system back home in the barn to hoist hay up into the loft, it worked like this. So that makes sense. That kind of looks like this.
Well,
And,
he took a boat, to that's how he transported the hay in Iowa.
Yes, from Iowa.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oceanic-
Cedar
all those
Rapids,
port cities in
Iowa.
Iowa.
Cedar Rapids, people.
So you do manage to unmoor the boat, and it is free. and starting to drift out into the harbor at random. You see commotion inland, that there is a body of people moving toward the harbor while the gentlemen continue to blow on their whistles. Lucas Evans.
I'm going down into the cabin, and I'm going to try to figure out how to pilot this boat.
I'm going to mention the engine is not currently running.
I'm going to figure out how to start the engine.
Oh, very well. That's nowhere in your area of expertise.
Nope.
Not even remotely. So you may roll 2 dice.
You roll two dice.
You do have helps. You've got a help hanging out if you want.
Yeah. Nine.
You stare at it befuddled for a brief moment, and you went, wait a minute, maybe it's this? You pull on the choke and start it up, and the motor roars to life. I rolled a 9 as well. Dr. Sabine, the engine has started.
Okay. So the engine is below deck?
The engine is below deck, but is operated from the cabin wherein Montana Smith is ensconced.
That is where the steering wheel is?
Correct.
You know what? I'm just going to sit here.
Dr. Sabine slumps down in exasperation.
She is French.
Montana, the engine is roared to life.
All right. Let's take her out. Let's get out of here.
Roll me 2d6 to operate this boat.
All right. I will also use a help.
Probably not a bad idea.
All right. Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
What'd you get?
10.
10. You're like, haha, let's go. You start turning the wheel, and you're spinning the wheel rapidly, and your boat, with the engine running, is just kind of drifting slowly away from the dock. Ox, your turn. The motor is running, but it's idling. You're not actually moving forward.
Okay. Is there anything on here that looks like some sort of farm equipment, like a throttle or a clutch or anything?
Probably in the cabin, yeah, as you race in. Give me a 3d6 roll. You can roll 3 dice.
$11. So
there is most certainly an engage. There is apparently a forward and reverse for the screws and a throttle.
Okay.
You can.
Which
you can
way is the point?
if you want.
Okay, I'm not smart, so I'm just going to reach forward and engage it.
You reach forward, throw the screws into forward, and the boat begins to slowly start moving away now under its own power.
I'm glad it was slowly. I'm just really glad it was slowly.
Looking back at the shore, there appear to be 4 or 5 police officers have arrived at the harbor as you're pulling away. They are yelling at you, and 2 of them have rifles. They unshoulder them. They look confused, like they don't normally have to use these things, and they're getting ready to fire. But 2 of the officers are yelling at you to stop. 2 are getting ready to use their rifles. The black shirts have faded into the background. You don't know where they went. With that, Lucas Evans. You are slowly idling out of the harbor.
I'm going to hey Ox, were you actually yelling about farm equipment and all that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Oh, Throttle, that sounds like something Speedy said. I which is the Throttle? This guy here? Ooh, slowly.
There ain't a lot of boats in Iowa.
I look at something that I've been in enough coastal towns to kind of probably I'll roll 2.
You think that's probably the Throttle? You want to throw it forward?
Cautiously.
The engine slowly accelerates, as do you. Dr. Sabine, the boat is now moving, probably at 5 knots.
Shoot us. Why not?
I need to point out real quick, though, the freaking Mississippi River makes the face of Maimau in Iowa. Like on the edge of Iowa. I need to
Well, then I guess I'm from the part of Iowa that doesn't have a Mississippi River, okay?
Fine!
You didn't have a grandpappy who used to go along on the riverboat? Come on, have a backstory, damn it. Dr. Sabine learned Italian for this game. Come on.
Anyway, so I am fatalistic at this point.
All right, very well. Montana, the boat is moving. It's a crowded harbor.
All right. I attempt.
Where are you going?
I know I want to go east.
All right. It is morning. The sun is over there.
And I'm sure there's a compass on the dash, right?
There is a compass mounted here, yes.
Great. I attempt to take us east as fast as we can get this thing to go.
Very well. You are traveling east. Ox. Ox, it's your turn.
I guess I've seen that the guys are getting ready to shoot us, so I'm just going to take cover to make sure if they do, I'm not the one that gets shot.
Good call. So you duck under cover. Indeed, 2 gunshots ring out. 2 rifle reports. Let's see here. Ox. Roll 4d6 and take the highest 3, giving you an extra die, a bonus die for cover, because you duck down behind stuff.
16.
Very good. The bullet ricochets off the bulkhead. And Dr. Sabine, you may roll me 3 dice.
Are we about to lose our
I'm fatalistic. This is only right.
You do have 2 helps if you like.
I'm
going
about
to lose our doctor.
I'm going to use both of my helps, please.
Both of your helps. Very well.
And I'm sorry, I'm not good at math, so you're just going to have to wait for me.
We will wait for you.
16.
You sit there fatalistically fanning yourself, and your fan explodes in your hand, but you are uninjured.
I got that in Paris.
If any of us die, this is your fault.
My fault?
That's the Montana. That's the Montana.
Oh. Okay.
Lucas.
You punched the guy first.
He was gonna punch one of us. You shot him.
I meant to do it in the kneecap.
So much
Lucas,
better.
Yeah, we're going. I'm feeling it up, but we are going faster. We are going faster.
Bro, you crank it up. Dr. Sabine.
Well, no one knows how to drive the boat. After shooting at us.
Yes, I am slumping down with even more ennui.
Oh, very well.
So yes, I am taking cover.
You know what? Give yourself a help for the future.
Okay.
Sir David Percival, if you would please give Dr. Sabine a help in our tally, just for her fatalistic playing to character for this whole thing. I really appreciate it. So
Merci.
please give Dr. Sabine an extra help in there. I approve.
Merci beaucoup, Glue Master.
So we're out of rounds now. At this point, we're far enough away. However, who is you? Montana, you are steering, and you're trying just to go east.
Yeah.
Tell me what your general plan is besides just go east. Is there any? Do you have any sort of?
We're going to India.
Is there a map of the island of Sicily available in the cabin of the boat? I love how
There is a map here. Hold on. Let me just see. We're going to Skyrim. We're going to Skyrim, guys.
okay.
Skyrim
It's
is
obviously-
kind of like Sicily.
Yeah. All right. So I want to stay far enough off the coast that they can't necessarily shoot at us, but keep going around.
I've
Maybe
mirrored
it's
it.
remarkably similar to Sicily. That's amazing.
It is, and it's mirrored, so that's why it looks. Yeah.
That is lovely. And then we go, and then we come down because I think you hit Catania and then Syracuse.
Catania.
Catania.
Allow me to show you the map again, because you do see the map. This is just a general map.
Yeah. Oh, Messina at the tip there.
That little bit of land that's sticking out there, that's the toe of Italy.
So we'll go right through there.
Ah.
All right.
Hey gang, I'm all right with looking for another another port and finding a better way to get there, because if they see us going one way, just to mislead them a little bit.
Instead of going east, we go west.
Well, no, we'll just find a place where we're not going to be in, where they're not looking for us, and a little less trouble.
Well, where do you think? I mean, they don't know we're going to Catania.
They might, because if you mentioned it to the the hotel clerk,
perhaps we should drop off the boats somewhere and then continue on land.
I think that's a great idea.
Great idea.
And we have money because we didn't have to pay that guy.
Didn't he take it from you?
No, generally you pay when you leave. In this day and in this time frame.
Yes.
And he left before we did, so
That's fair.
That is very true. Okay.
So theft of services are added to your list of crimes, in addition to murder and grand theft nautical. Got it.
It was accidental.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure that's really going to matter when they catch us.
I'm sure
Listen.
Benito's
Nat
government
21
will smile.
adventures. We
You killed him. Yeah, but I didn't mean to kill him.
Listen, all I'm saying is on this channel, it is filled with nothing, especially on Tuesdays, of murder hobos. So, do we have a place to stay right now? No. Did a murder accidentally happen? Yes. Thus, we are living up to the stereotype.
I'm going to state for the record that accidentally you deliberately drew a revolver and shot at a man.
a fascist.
I mean, yes.
I mean, it does make.
I mean, I don't.
Okay.
Still a living human being. So I don't know if you can call it an accident.
It was certainly not premeditated.
I mean, that's-
In the States, I would get, 5 years for second degree.
More importantly,
Max.
I need you to roll 2d6 to try to navigate this boat out of the harbor.
You can't spell manslaughter without man's laughter. Folks.
Do I?
It's true.
Do I have any helps left?
Oops, sorry, wrong one. There you go. Yes, you have 2.
Oh, excellent. All right, I'm going to use both of them then at this moment.
Very good.
Oh, very nice. I got a 12 on this one.
You managed to make your way out of Palermo Harbor, past the little town of Bagheria. Let me show you where that is. Because you might see there's a little point of land that sticks up almost due east of Palermo.
Under the L?
And yes, by the L. And you managed to get around that. You don't hear any immediate pursuit as you round that point of land, following the coastline. You are in a boat going to a town you've never been to, on an island you've never been on before, pursued by a fascist government for murder while trying to find an artifact that might stop an evil cult from unleashing doom upon the world.
Tale as old as time.
And that is where we're going to leave it for the evening, ladies and gentlemen.
It sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here for this edition of Gothic Horror Gaming. This is not anywhere near where I expected this game to go. We will see what happens next. It's going to be a fun ride. We'll be back next week at Wednesday night from 9 until 11 p.m. So be sure to tune back in. But before we sign off, I just want to introduce all of our players. So we're going to start off with Lucas Evans. Lucas.
Hey, gang. Steve O'Docker's in here. I am beloved entertainer Hob the Troll. You can find me at hobthetroll.bandcamp.com for all of your great music needs. I'm going to be singing lots of songs over at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Festival until the last week of October. Come see Hob, and I'm going to be moving around different stages, but you can also find me singing by the bathrooms over by the Absinthe Pub.
Indeed. And we also have with us Dr. Sabine.
Hi, everybody. My name is Katie Hauser. I am a member of Chase Treasure, and you can find me this November at the Louisiana Renaissance Festival from November 4th to December 10th. And that is me. You can also follow me at Hob the Troll at bandcamp.com.
Right. Very good. And you'll be in town then for the Ren Adventures tour.
Yes, I will be.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We also have with us Dr. Montana Smith.
Hey everyone, Dan Kostelik. I am sometimes known as your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare, and I do my one-person audience interactive improv comedy Shakespeare show, Shakespeare Approves, and I'll be at the Sparta Ren Fair September 9th through 17th, so the first 2 weekends of that show. I will also be joining Chase Treasure as their secret fourth member at the Louisiana Renaissance Festival. And I'm doing spooky tours in Salem. But of course, please find me at trollthehob.cannedbamp.com.
Yep.
Very well. And we also have our new friend, but also old friend, Oliver Ox Hayes.
I am Matt Selly. I am in no way, shape, or form affiliated with Chase Treasure or Hob the Troll. You can catch me at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair until the end of the season, telling vaguely veiled dick jokes on stage with an actual German woman.
Very good.
Wait, are you sure you're not part of Chase Treasure?
You know,
You kind of just described Chase Treasure, really.
yeah, you're not wrong. Yes, that's true.
Indeed. And my name is Tom Zadoyko. I am your Gloom Master. I am one half of Buckle and Swash, the pirate sword fighting show. We're at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair now through September 17th. After that, Buckle and Swash is done. It's attempted murder, but like funny. After that, I will be in the Mud Show, the Mud Skippers, for the rest of the run until the end of October at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. And then you can find me as well in November and December down at the Louisiana Renaissance Fair. I will be part of the Ren Adventures tour down there, as well as doing all sorts of tasting events as Captain Sir Francis Drake. We do have a new, we wanted to announce there is a, Handler Z is in the background here, and she'll be doing a new thing, subbing in for Shakespeare Approves. Here on the channel tomorrow at 10 a.m., she's going to do short works of fiction created live in front of you, Flash Phantasmagoria, starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, where she'll take your suggestions and write on the fly some quick fiction, which she will then share with you to replace Shakespeare's sonnets, since he's a little busy right now. And until he can get a chance to come on back, she'll be doing that. So please visit us again at 10 a.m. Tomorrow, right here on twitch.tv/Nat21Adventures or on YouTube at Nat21Adventures. Also, would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, Ren Adventures, who we've already mentioned. They're doing a fine a tour in New Orleans, play D&D 5e, do all sorts of wonderful tours, see all the sites, culminating in a trip to the Louisiana Renaissance Fair. Check it out, renadventures.com. I'm going to say keep your eye on that space as well, because there are some exciting things in the works for next June. So keep checking in. I can't say any more yet until we're sure of what's happening with that, but be sure to check out renadventures.com. Also want to thank 3D2U, our good friends over there, Amy and Jesse, making all sorts of wonderful gaming accessories, 3D2U.org. And also, we have a book out, Dare, a collection of short fiction and poetry, mainly spooky stuff and sci-fi stuff by Melissa Lee, Handler Z, narrated by myself over on Amazon and or on Audible. So thank you so much for joining us, everyone. I'm curious to see where this is going to go, because this is not where I had thought it was going to end up in the slightest. So tune back in next week, and we'll see what craziness our players get into at that point. As always, you can check us out on Discord as well. Nat21 has a Discord server. Be sure to check that out. We also have a Patreon. These are all getting put up in the comments section over there for Twitch. But let me throw them. We should probably throw them on screen for our YouTube friends as well. You can also check out a Patreon for Nat21 and for Quill and Quote, which is Handler Z and I's short fiction. You do have to type the whole thing in, though, because it is rated PG-13. So you have to actually type the whole thing in. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, have a lovely evening. Good night, everyone.
Mwah.